Texas students applying for financial aid this year had a tighter deadline than usual, and it's not for the reason you might expect. CBS 4's Sandra Garcia spoke to an expert on what happens if you might have missed that due date.
The government shutdown is not affecting at all the Fafsa completion.
The priority deadline for the Fafsa was moved up 2 months earlier than its usual due date.
Now that it has been available since October 1st for, a few years, they figured, well, students should start doing it a lot earlier.
Hayel Perez with the UTRGV Financial Aid Office says that's because Texas officials did the same to a grant program available to students. That's also due January 15th.
We decided to align it because otherwise students could possibly miss out on the Texas grant.
It's not because of the government shutdown, which Perez says has been a common misconception. And missing the due date doesn't mean there's no hope left.
The purpose of priority deadlines is that a lot of the times funds are limited. So it's the date of submission is something that we use. A lot of programs are awarded on a first come, first served basis. It does not necessarily mean that you will not receive financial aid or miss out on certain types of financial aid.
For some, the new deadline is no big deal, and they got their application in early.
I knew that if I had put it off any later, I would have been stuck in between finals. So I chose to do it in that period between my midterm and my finals, so that way I would have the breathing room to get it done.
For others, it's not that simple.
Actually, I was super worried. I'm currently fixing it at the moment because the deadline was yesterday, so I have a meeting that I'm going to head off to in a bit to fix the rest of my FAFSA.
Regardless, the sooner you get in your application, the better.
If they missed it this year, the deadline, that's okay, just to submit it as early as possible, but then also to keep it in mind for next year.
In Edinburgh with Complete Valley coverage, Sandra Garcia, CBS 4 Valley at 5.
Perez says the only aspect of FAFSA affected by the government shutdown was documents some students were required to request from the IRS, but now they're accepting alternates to those to avoid any delays.